Boecraft here, and welcome to a Kerbal Space Program video. Yes, Kerbal Space Program. So what we're gonna do is try and build a civilization in the Kerbal system. Pretty much, we are going to create cities on, pretty much on every, planet or moon, if possible. So, I'm gonna call it Civ. We want it to be in sandbox because it would take forever to do in career mode. What flag should I use? I'll use an old Boecraft flag that I made for the old channel. Alright, start. Okay. So we're just gonna wait for everything to load up. But yeah, we're gonna try and build cities on Mun, Minmus, everywhere. Lathe, maybe Eve. I don't know about Eve. Eve would be hard. Moho, most likely. Duna, definitely. Oh man, where else could we do it? We could do it on Drez. Maybe Elu. I don't know. Just so many possibilities here. Especially when it comes to Jewel. Jewel, even though it may be a gas giant, but we have so many moons here to work with. Especially old perfect Lathe, which is basically a mini Kerbin. Alright. So the first thing we're gonna do in this episode is build a station around Kerbin. Pretty much what's gonna happen is this station is gonna serve as a docking area for surface to orbit shuttles and shuttles from Kerbin to the Mun or Duna or wherever you want to go. So basically this is kind of like an airport, I guess is a way to describe it. This is an airport yeah. It's an airport technically. Well, actually, really, it's a spaceport because, we're in outer space. But, alright. Oh, and I also have several mods installed. I have KW Rocketry, B9, Keythane, but Keythane's kind of broken right now. So we're going to be unable to have Keythane working until, whenever I check for a new update. So, but when I get Keythane down, I'll have, mining facilities as well in some of the towns, maybe. Okay. So, what we want here is just, a load of these crew tanks to hold, a bunch of people as they have that layover from the surface to the interplanetary transporter, wherever they're going. Okay. But I think some of our first colonies will be set up around, Mun or Minmus. Just because they're so close and they're so easy to get to. And any launch window is a perfect window. So, okay, how many people can this thing hold? Actually, you know what? I'm going to throw MechJeb on here. MechJeb unit. Oh, and sorry about, my voice sounding a bit weird and some random background noises. I'm a bit, under the weather today. And also I have a dog in the room. So, that's why I sound a bit funny and you hear random snorts or a little jingle. Okay, MechJeb. Alright, we can hold up to 13 people so far in this station. I think we'll just close that off. And we'll just fly up another crew set thingy, whatever you would call it. Another crew module. And then we'll probably ship up a massive fuel tank. That might branch off, but yeah, I think the middle section here will have the docking apparatus on it, and or maybe what else I could do is add some on way up here, so then I could fit more ships on it, and then it also gives me a good base for the solar panels. And now we need to flip through all the pages with B9 mods. Gotta love B9. Okay, let's just throw 2 pylons way out there. Add in a good cap, just for aesthetic reasons. Alright, and let's go to utility. What kind of solar panels do we want on this structure here? We'll just get some of the large ones, and we'll mount them like this. Oh, and I do not want to copy the whole darn piece. Oh, I'll just snag another one of these things here. Okay, I think that's right. I don't know. Okay. And then we just need to, secure things. Oh, actually, I need the docking ports. Not much of a station then if you can't really dock to it. So yeah, there we go. There's our first unit built. Very basic. We're gonna rename this thing. Hopefully, we can select the name to KERBIN 1. And then let's see if sub-assemblies are on here. No. Okay. So I need to build like a launch stage and stuff. So this will be a pretty good tutorial on how to build like asparagus staging, and I'll have like a sub-assembly of this. So then we don't have to rewatch this build thing over and over again. And we're lagging out terribly. Oh my gosh. There we go. Okay. So actually I need to be instructional. Gosh darn it. Okay. Come on. I wonder why this game is... Oh, actually, I'm maxing out the CPU right now. Maybe it's just because I'm recording or something. Okay, I need some decouplers. One of these things. Alright. And then I also need a probe body because this type, or this launch stage that I build, which is my standard launch stage, it has a thing which I call a smart deorbiter, which is basically a probe body and a couple solar panels on the launch stage. Because I have that extra bit of fuel, what I do is I take control of the whole launch stage and then turn it retrograde and then just burn and deorbit the thing. Now we wait for the game to load everything. Come on, game. This is fun. Quality YouTube material right here. Just waiting for a little screen to load, with only 2 pages of information on it. And it still takes forever to load the second page. Yay. Gosh. I've just been a bit... I wouldn't say frustrated. I've just been a little bit annoyed with KSP just because I had to like reload the game 3 times before I could even get the game to start. It kept on crashing, and I think the reason was I had Fraps open while I was trying to load the game, so that's always fun. Okay. Load, stupid page. Okay. There we go, almost. There we go. Okay. Okay, so we want... Oh, whoops, I was hitting the wrong button. Alright, so we want 6 times symmetry, so I'll just put in that as a quick little reference. Drop this thing down to 2. Oh, snap. Okay, I just started... Oh, I had my mouse on the wrong button. Great. Okay, it's been a while since I played KSP, now that I realize. Alright, and then I just hold Alt while I left click to copy items, which is very useful in the game. Alright, so there we go. Now I got my decouplers, and the reason why I did it in 2 times symmetry 3 times is just so my staging things are all separate, and it's nice and lovely. I just want to drag that down there. Okay. Back to propulsion. Okay. Been loaded up. Okay, I think the game's just trying to warm itself up. Okay, so now I just get 3 more of these things, and then I use the skipper engines here for my outlying engines. Actually, let's go into aerodynamic for the fins. I think this design works just fine without the fins. I don't really know. Oh yeah, the fairings mod. I could actually build a fairing around this monstrosity. No. Okay. Let's see here. What kind of fins do I want to use? Let's use some B9 parts because this entire rocket has been default. And those are ridiculous. They're big. Okay. Add in a few fins there. And another thing that I like to do is add on another set of 6 fins in between each booster set for added stability when we drop the uppers or drop the side tanks. Even though it's not necessarily required, it's just a thing that I do. Okay. Try and get this lined up. Are we good? Yes. Okay. So there's our rockets all set up nice and pretty. Now we just need to go back to propulsion and get our fuel lines. And this is the most important part that makes asparagus staging asparagus. Okay. So this is going to be our first set of tanks to drop off. So we're still on 2x symmetry, and then all we do is just connect our tanks, and then we'll do this a few times and just go around clockwise. So then we add in our third one, but our second fuel line. But for the third fuel line, we do not connect these two. Okay, that'll just link all three of these or all 6 of these tanks into one big loop, and it's completely useless then. What we want to do is connect it from the outlying tank inwards to the center. So then we'll have our fuel, like these 3 tanks at first will be fueling all 7 engines. They'll drop off. This tank here will fuel up the remaining 5 engines and drop off. This set here will do the 3 and drop off, and then we got this guy here left alone, still full of fuel, and that will carry us straight to orbit. Okay, and now probably the most actually I forgot to put the solar panels on the smart deorbiting unit, but on the pro body. But anyways, this is the most important part of this whole rocket that's going to keep it together, and that is the magical struts. Alright, struts will save your life. Quick KSP tip. And then one trick we can do here with the struts, if we're connecting it from the main body to the outlying tanks, is we can set it to 6x symmetry, and bam, there we go. But you can't do the reverse of it, unfortunately. So I can do it again. Oh, 6x symmetry, bam. But yeah, just basically throw struts everywhere around this thing. Connect them to the tanks at like the top, middle, and bottom. Connect the tanks to the center, like top and bottom. The middle's already covered by our decouplers. And then also don't forget to like connect the payload up, secure the payload, otherwise then you get like severe wobbling and it could disintegrate in mid-flight, which is always fun when your creations fall apart right before your eyes. Alright. Get these struts put in. That is if I can grab the parts. Okay. Let's get some more. Give me one quick second. Dog wants to get out of there, and now I am back. Okay. And then we will actually wrong strut connector, and there goes the dog. Great. Alright, and then we'll do our final set of struts. Still barking. Alright, there we go. Now we are actually almost fully connected. We want to get our lower set of 6 struts. Alright, there we go. Now the launch stage is now fully secured. The payload we still need secured a little bit more, but yeah, that is basically how you build an asparagus staged rocket. And also, when you're hooking up your fuel lines and your struts, try to, if you're doing this center tank stabilizer setup that I got here, be careful to make sure that none of your stuff is accidentally connected to the fin itself. Otherwise, then you'll lose structural stability, or some tanks will run dry before it should. And now we will secure the final load. Now I believe it's sideways, but oh well. Okay, and have a few more coming down here. Just for that added structural stability. Pretty much, I'd say one of the #1 rules of this game is you can never have too many struts. And now we will add in our solar panels, so then our launch stage can function after being severed from the station, and we can get it out of here. Because I don't want this thing floating around while I got a station right there. And I just hit the Windows button again, didn't I? Instead of Alt. Okay, there we go. Launch stage done. I'll just throw this into the subassembly. Or actually, wait, I need to do the staging first. When it comes to staging an asparagus rocket, you want to add in 2 more stages because we got 3 sets of tanks. You want 3 separate stages. And since this was our lead tank, you got to find that decoupler, which is right here. And then you scroll it down to the bottommost, and then find your second set of tanks. Select that, scroll it down. So then when they run out, you can just detach it, lose the weight, and you can perform a lot better. Alright. Get the sub-assembly in. Just call it MLS, main launch stage, save. Then we'll grab it again. And I need to redo the struts. Wonderful. Oh, and I just grabbed that. That just happened. Oh, okay, awesome. Oh yeah, another thing that I completely forgot to do on the sub-assembly, I'll just delete it and redo it, off the record, off camera, is add in a few launch clamps, just for that stability on, and I just copied the whole tank, just for that added stability on the pad. You can set these up in any which way, shape, or form. But yeah, there we go, station. Now let's send this thing into orbit, and that'll, yeah, we'll send this thing into orbit. Okay, post-commentary Boecraft here for the launch of the rocket, because we'll be seeing so many of these launches, and also I have the video in 4 times time acceleration. But, so right now we got MechJeb sending our first component of this new station into orbit, even though MechJeb may be cheating for some people. I find it useful, because when you do things like launches or landings over and over and over again, it gets pretty boring. MechJeb just kind of relieves the stress of it, and also while I was doing this launch, I was able to go downstairs and grab a snack or whatever, and come back up knowing that this thing is going to be in orbit or it's going to dock with something. So that makes it useful, but really the main reason why I have MechJeb is for rendezvous. I cannot do rendezvous to save my life, so pretty much without MechJeb, I could not make this series work, period, because I wouldn't be able to build stations, or transfer fuel, or do anything like that. So, we just dropped the first set of tanks. I don't know how long ago it was, but what that does is it keeps all the tanks full, as I've probably explained, and also it just kills a lot of weight off of the rocket as we fly up into the upper atmosphere. We are doing our gravity turn, that is to help us get into orbit, and we are about to drop our second set of tanks here. And this is always the really tricky one, because sometimes, as you can see there, it knocked out a fin. But I've had it where it like takes out the center engine as the rocket does its gravity turn, and obviously when that happens, I have to restart the launch, or redesign the rocket to have a little bit more, a little bit less fuel on board, or redo the launch altogether, like the whole launch parameters. But I always think the rockets look cool when they're down to 3 engines on the launch stage. But so here we are with Jebediah. He's pretty happy right now, being the first Kerbal to go up into space in this universe, may I say. But this station will serve a great purpose to all Kerbal kind, I can tell you that. This station is the beginning of a brand new era in Kerbal Space Program. Not sure about the game, but at least in this universe, it'll be a major revolution, as it's a symbol that Kerbals can now go anywhere in their solar system. You can quote me on that one, I can tell you that, especially if you're making a Kerbal Space Program video. But we're about to drop off our final set of tanks, and our center main launch engine tank set, whatever you like to call it, it'll still be full, which is very useful for stuff like this. And this launch stage, it is rated to carry oh, there they go. Look how beautiful that is. I love that final drop. But as I was saying, this launch stage, it is rated for to carry a 40-ton payload to Mun. And that is to get into orbit of Kerbin, get to Mun, and get into orbit in Mun, and have enough fuel with a 40-ton load, which is very useful, even though I only use it to put myself right into orbit. And right now the rocket's trying to get itself lined up for the maneuver to circleize the orbit at Apoaps. And I'm sorry that I'm using all this fancy schmancy rocketry terms, but I'm gonna create a video where to explain all this sort of space talk, so that for the people who really don't know what I'm talking about. But so here we go. We're gonna burn at Apoaps to circleize our orbit as we drop out of time accelerate, and there we go. Sorry if the image is a bit dark. I didn't want to fiddle around and you know, have everything be spinning at 4 times time acceleration. Alright, and there we go. We are now in orbit. I'm now going to make sure we're not spinning around and extend the panels. And when I was doing this, I realized I forgot to add a secondary power source onto the station, so that's always fun. But there we go. We just detached the main launch stage, and now we will send it back into the atmosphere. And soon, in the next few seconds or so, let's see how long I can procrastinate this, we will have live commentary, Boecraft on. Pretty soon here. Wait for it, right now. And now, because of this deorbiting system I have on this thing, we are going to have minimal space debris up in orbit, which means we will not have Kessler syndrome in this game, or in this universe. Hopefully not. I haven't had it in KSP yet, but it would be a lot of fun to have Kessler syndrome. And basically what Kessler syndrome is, for those who don't know, it's pretty much the movie Gravity. That is the basic description of Kessler syndrome. And now this thing starts spinning out of control as I turned off SAS. We got Mach effects going on, that's lovely. Heck, why not? We'll throw this engine on, just for the fun of it, slowing us down even more, and even nosediving this thing into the ground. Oh, what a beauty it is, and I'm not touching any of the controls. So this is actually quite amusing. Okay, we are coming in really fast at some 300 meters per second, and bang, bash, boom, that thing is now destroyed. And our station is in orbit. So, let's see how much battery power we have. We got plenty of battery power, and it appears we're generating plenty of it. Let's just say we want to point our station retrograde for just alignment things with the station, just so then we're lined up with the sun and stuff. Let's engage force roll to 0 degrees. So I think this will make our ladder point up to the sun as well. But after all this, I'll shut down that Jeb. So now we are free floating again. But there's our core to our very first station for colonizing the Kerbal system. Alright. Tune in next time as we complete this station and we add on the other 2 modules. This is Boecraft, and I bid you all farewell on your life's journeys and adventures. Thanks so much for watching.